Okay, hopefully that'll work. Let me switch out of here. So sorry. I was trying something new and it didn't work. There we go. Yay. So I'll give it a few seconds here just to make sure everybody's on, since I have a delay on my side from what you're watching to what I see. But it's so weird to see yourself on TV there and you're not talking. If you're there, just say hi. Let me know you're hanging out. Oops. Tighten this baby up. Anybody out there tonight? I know it's Sunday night. Everybody should be home from the weekend. So, say you're on here and let me know you're here. I see some people watching. So it's been a little bit since I've been on a live. Well, I did a live yesterday, a little bit of Hobby Lobby. But I wanted to let you guys know that here I am. Now this is, you guys are going to think it's kind of weird. It's actually a hard cast on this side. I broke my thumb playing powder puff football on a practice. Our game is actually this Wednesday. And I did this about 2 weeks ago. It'll be 2 weeks ago this coming Tuesday. Hi, Sharon. From Canada, Newfoundland, Canada. You know, we lived in Alaska. And my husband drove through. He went through New York up through Canada when we were going up there. I flew with the kids, needless to say. I wasn't going to be in the car for days. I think it took him 8 days, I think, if I recall. So it was a long trip for him. But anyway, so welcome, Sharon. Sharon, if you want to get alerts or anything, go ahead and write alert, type alert in the comments below, and then you'll know when I go on. Hi, Donna. How are you? First time? Well, welcome, Donna. Type alert in the bottom so you can get alerts when I come on every time, okay? And like and share. Send me emojis. I like emojis. I'm all about emojis. So what I was talking about was my thumb. I broke it 2 weeks ago. So I haven't been able, I kind of took off the first week. My daughter was gracious enough to help me. In fact, she helped. She got a crash course on how to make these babies. And she did very well, and I'm very happy that she was able to help me with that. But I have a plastic bag on this, and the reason being, this stuff that's also wrapped around here keeps getting caught in the deco mesh. So I think the first one I tried, I was going like this all the time. So I'm trying a plastic bag on it because they've had to rewrap it once already for me. I don't think that we're too happy about that. Venus, hi. I know. Can you believe? Hey, if y'all know Damien, tell him to get on, because what is that word I want to use? This is like determination and to do this. But I've got some things already pre-cut so that it would make it hopefully go a little faster. Because like I said, the first week I tried, it took me 4 hours to do because I kept getting stuck in this, and it was a disaster. But I did it. So, hi Ann, how are you? Welcome. If you want alerts when I go on live, go ahead and just type the word alert down below. So, what we're going to do today, we're going to make this little guy. Dun, dun, dun. I've only done one turkey with a turkey. This is another one. This is hand painted by Mindy Spinks, and she's a college student who is, painting and helping to pay her way through college. So I just love this little guy. He's just so cute. So I'll show you how we're going to mount him and everything once we get to that. So I'm going to put him down here for now so he's out of the way. So this is a Dollar Tree frame. I'm using orange chenille stems or pipe stems, depending how you like to say it. I know, that's the word I was looking for, commitment, Anne. Thank you. Yes. I love doing what I do, and I hated being away, and I tried my best. I got scolded by my coach, Damien, for like, what was I playing football for, you know? But it's for domestic violence, to bring awareness to domestic violence and sexual abuse. So I felt it was a good cause. And like I said, our game is on Wednesday. Of course, I'll be on the sidelines, which is, I put a month and a half of practice into this, but maybe I can go in the last like minute, you know? But anyway, so let's get to this baby. So this is a Dollar Tree frame. So it's, what, 10, 12, 13, 14 inches wide. The mesh, now this is what I was trying to do when I tried to start my live earlier. So let me turn this, because I was trying to do a wide shot, and I had the camera all set up and my phone all set up, and then it still put me sideways on the thing here. So this is the collapsible ultimate mesh roller, and it has these little hinges on the side. So when you take all these out, these two sides, there's this side and another side, they'll collapse down, and I'll show you at the end how that works. I try to have it all set up right now, because since with this, it will make it go a little faster for y'all. So I have 21-inch deco mesh. I believe I may have gotten this from Hobby Lobby, the mesh. So I put, oops, see, everything gets in my way with the one finger missing. I have 18 of the chenille stems on, 8 in the center, 10 on the outside. And the way I do them when I do them is I'll lay this down and I'll lay it across, and that's how the length of when they're in half is where you should put the next stem as you go around. Same with on the outside. So what I started here, because this is sometimes a little difficult for me right now, is I will go ahead, and this was actually a little bit longer, and I'll tie the first one in, and I'll take one of these zip ties, tie it on there, and then I cut, this is about 1 inch is what I leave here. And that's to kind of hold it in place. Some people will curl it under and tuck it in on the first one here. You can do that as well. It's just a preference. I do both. It's just a preference of how I want to do it. I don't know, the mood I'm in. Oh, if you're wondering why I'm wearing the crown, by the way, my granddaughter, Bailey, was on FaceTime me about 15 minutes before I came on. And I know she was taking a bath and getting ready for school. And she just dyed her hair blue on the bottom. And she's only 7, mind you. And I said, you know, if you come on tonight and let me know you're on, I will wear the crown so that you know. She goes, no, you're not going to be doing that. I said, yes, I will. So I have it on. I may have to take it off if I have to put my glasses on because it may fall. So what I'm going to do for the puffs, we're going to do this as a puff wreath. I like using the mesh roller because it keeps it flat. Some people like to drop it on the floor because this makes it easier for me to keep it so it's curled under. I kind of curl under the edges a little bit. Ooh, it's stuck. So that way I know they're underneath when I do my poofs, and it makes it easier. For me, when I have it on the floor, sometimes it starts twisting and all kinds of things, because this kind of keeps it, you know, kind of organized for me. So let me put my glasses over here. I'll probably forget I put them over there. Whoops, I'm stuck. Okay. So I'm going to do 8-inch puffs on the inside. Excuse me, 10-inch puff. Should I do 8-inch? No, I'll do 10-inch puffs on the inside and 12-inch on the outside. I don't know why I said 8-inch. That's for a smaller wreath. I was trying to do some smaller things. So let's see how this goes. Okay, we're getting it. And then I just go ahead, whoops, wrong way, and I just poof it out. Sometimes I won't poof it out to the end, especially with this thing right now, because this gets caught on everything. And then other times I'll go ahead and do it as I go. It just depends. Whoops, 10. As I go. Makes it easier. Hi, Catherine. So let's do this. See if I can get this going and keep it nice and tight. There we go. So what did everybody do this weekend? Did you guys have fun? Was it nice where y'all live? I live in Virginia, and it was nice. I went to go visit a friend this weekend, and it was nice visiting. We had nice weather yesterday, so we went shopping. Hobby Lobby shopping. And I got some cool things. Can't wait to start getting them, being able to really get back in the swing of things of doing this. So here we go, here. Ta-da! So they're getting there. Yay! 1, 2, whoops. So see how easy this is with doing this? Whoops. Oh, gotta get my finger around. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, gotta get my ties over. Usually I try to open them before I do it just because it makes it a little bit easier. But it just depends. You can open them as you go. That's okay too. Dun, dun, dun. So, Sharon, are you still on? Where is Newfoundland, Canada? I know where Vancouver is, and I've been to Niagara Falls, needless to say. But where is Newfoundland? Is that like the far top east part of Canada? Just curious. There we go. So when I get back to this part here, because I do my last poof on this row here, oops. So that finishes the inside of the wreath. This is actually working pretty good because I'm not getting tangled up in this thing. It's still a pain. I love my finger back. So I'm just pulling up my ties just so that they're out of the way when I start going on to the next row. Okay. So the next row I'll just come down. Where the first tie is, I'll just pull it nice and tight across like this. Oops, push that down. I'll pull it nice across and tight. And I'll go ahead and I'll put it in that twist tie, the first twist tie right there. And I'll just give it once or twice. There we go. Now the outside I'm going to do 12-inch poofs. So let's see, 13, 23, 12. There we go. And let's go ahead. Oops. I almost knocked my ribbon off. Oh, I should have showed you the ribbon. I got some cool ribbon that I'm going to use on this one. Let me finish doing the wreath and then I'll show you guys. Oops. So, 12, there we go. I wish we could play music. I really do, because it's kind of boring when it's quiet, when there's no music and you're talking to yourself. There we go. Up and away. Here we go. What, we're almost, well, not really quite halfway there, I guess. Alright, getting there. I chose the orange chenilles because in this mesh, it's a dark, like chocolate brown, and it has orange, like foil, I guess the word would be, going through it. And Venus, where is Newfoundland, Canada? Is that the top northeast of the state or country? You have to let me know because I'm curious. All right, here we go. And like I said, I'll poof all these babies out. 10, 12. Oh, so, I was saying I went down to Hobby Lobby. Well, to my friend in Richmond. We went to Hobby Lobby. And on the way going down there Friday, I stopped at the Hobby Lobby close to me because it was on my way. I actually had to do a return on something I wasn't going to use. Whoops. And I spent some money there. And then when I was down in Richmond, oh, I'm thinking Sharon Venus, my bad. See, I should put my glasses on. Sharon's the one in Newfoundland. You're in, we're in Texas, North Texas. I have never been to Texas. I've always wanted to go to Texas, though. I want to see, I've seen the big longhorns, you know, and I've always wanted to see, like, actually be in the state where they were, if that makes sense. My son was actually stationed at Fort Hood down there for, I think it was like 4 years or something like that. So he, I'm not sure where that was in relation to you, if that's close to you or not. Whoops. 10, 12. There we go. All right, we're getting to the end. Yay. Oh, I still got a lot left over. Boham, Texas, north of Dallas. So Dallas, oh gosh, my geography. Is that kind of like, not quite the center of the state, correct? Hey, Christina. Is Bailey watching? Because if she is, tell her I got my crown on. Got it on, Bailey. Bailey's my granddaughter, for those of you that didn't hear earlier. Told her I was going to wear the crown today. Oh, how silly me. I put the plastic bag on. And this is what's underneath the plastic bag. And it just got snagged. How funny. And here I'm trying to think that it wouldn't get snagged. Okay, well, it's not snagging up by the hand. That's the best part. Once I get through the mesh, I can take it off because the ribbons, it's... Well, no, I guess I should leave it on when I do the ribbons. Ugh. There we go. One more. So, I'm at the end here. Oops. Come here, you. So, I'm at the end here. So, I'm going to make one last poof. And I'm going to take my twist tie. And like I did in the beginning, I'm going to do the same thing and tuck it underneath the last one. So, but before I do that, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. Hold on. Let me get this last one in here. So because, see, it looked, you can kind of see through. I could show you this way, and it's just like you can see through. So I'm going to put a third row in here. So I'm going to divide the 2 rows like this. It just makes it easier. Pull my twist ties down just so that they're out of the way. And what I'm going to do is kind of just put a line through it, and that helps fill in those gaps in there. That's stuck there. So I'm going to do every other where a tie is. So I'm going to bring this across, skip the first one, and go where the second tie is, and I take it from the bottom row or the outside row. And see how that just kind of fills in like that? Can you guys see that? And it just fills it in a little bit more as compared to if you look at here, see the gap? I know I spread this apart and I haven't poofed these out, but that's what I don't want, is to have that gap in there. Can you guys see that? I have a black shirt on, so that's probably not helping much. How's that work? Better? Like I said, I got a delay reaction. There you go. So see, now you can really see the gap in there, and I don't want that. So, we got skip one. Here we go. And I just take the outside twist tie, and I'm going to put it in there. And the poof doesn't have to be big because it's really just made as a filler, so you don't need it to be so poofy, so to speak. It's just in there to be a filler. I like it a little bit poofy because I just like it that way. That's just me. All right. So we're going to do the same thing going all the way around. Skip one tie, come to the next one, And we'll put this one in. And then once I spread it out, you won't see, you know, most of this any stuff anyway. So next weekend, I have a craft show. And it's at one of the local high schools here. It's a really nice school. And I was invited to go. So I was like, oh, you know, I try not to turn down invitations. Just because if they took the time to invite me, I feel I should be present. You know? Oh, see? That didn't work. There we go. All right. I gotta figure. I had a rubber band and the rubber band broke. So I thought, oh, I'll try this and maybe this might just keep the bandage together. Ah, thanks, Claudia. It was, I have it usually sitting up here in the back of my shelf on the fireplace here because it was kind of a joke with my business group I was in. We finished our class and graduated, and I was trying to find a cap and gown hat, you know, cap, and they didn't have one. So the only thing I could find was a crown. So we were called the Coin Club. So the crafty little coins we were. So I found a little crown, and I thought that would be cute to wear on a graduation day. So that's where I got it. Okay, so now I'm coming to the end of the wreath making. All right, so where I came down here, this is where I transitioned from the inner ring, oops, to the lower ring. And I'm actually going to finish this off right here. And see how I used the twist tie in the beginning, the zip tie? I'm going to do the same thing again. Bring it down, tie it in the bottom one. And this is really fun with this thing. Ugh, I'm still getting caught on it. Okay. So now I'm going to take the leftover. I'm going to take about that much. I'm going to fold down the bottom. I'm going to tuck it in, take my zip tie, and I'm just going to tie it in. I don't want to tie it on the, because this has 4 rings, 4 things. I'm going to tie it on the inner one. Just so, because I don't want it on the outside, the very outside one. Keep. Oops. Oopsie. Oh, I dropped it. You don't realize when you don't have one of your little digits on your hand, how difficult this can be. There we go. Take my cutters, and you make sure you pull it as tight as you can pull it. All right. Take my scissors again. I'll leave about 1 inch or so at the end. Cut it. There we go. Voila. Easy peasy. Easy peasy when you have 10 digits, not 9. Okay. Just want this out of the way so I don't get caught on it anymore. I'm going to move it from here. There we go. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is the poof. I'm going to poof everything out. So I'm pulling the edges out like this just to make it a little bit more poofy. Because that's what it's supposed to do. That's why they call it the poof method. So there are different types of methods you can use. I chose for this one to do this because it's a small little sign, and I'm not sure if I want to put him in the middle or off to the side. I wanted to make sure the wreath, you know, was appropriate size for him. My little turkey. And I'll show them to you again as soon as I finish poofing. You don't realize, your hands like this, you know, when you can bend your wrists and you're like this. Eesh. It's like crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Claudia, did you get snow up there? My friend Claudia lives in Alaska. You guys have snow yet? I'm sure you probably do because it's already, what, mid-October? Ooh. See how nice and full that's getting? Maybe I'll go reverse way. Oops, here we go. Reverse that one. Poof it up, poof it up. Oop, got caught. There we go. Almost done. Now this weekend, a lot of the wreath crafters are going up to Illinois. They have a big convention that's coming up there, the wreath convention. Of course, I couldn't go. But hopefully next year. I think they're having one in July. Maybe I can go down. It's going to be down in New Orleans. Woohoo! I love New Orleans. Alright, I think I got one more to poof. Poof, poof, poof away. Cool. So voila. Whoops. Gosh, I'm a klutz with this thing. This is like a cement block hitting everything. So there's your wreath. So this is the little guy that we're going to put in here. And I was thinking of putting him in the middle. And the reason why I was thinking that, I'm going to show you the two ribbon choices I wanted to use for this guy today. So I've already pre-cut these. Again, it would take a lot longer if I were to sit here and do this with you guys watching. And again, I didn't think you wanted to do that. So I have this one here. These are all cut at 14 inches long. I have a plaid and I have an orange. This orange, even though it looks like it would, you could use it both ways, either way, there's actually gold sparkles on this side, so you do have to, this has one side is the right side and one is the wrong. This one doesn't matter, but I have those two to go together, and then I have these two. I have my turkey, can you see him? That better? And I have an orange plaid to go with him. Since he had so much color, I just thought he was so cool to go with this guy. So I have to decide where I want to put this. If I want to put it off to the side or put him in the center. I really thought the center. And then maybe doing one bow, but maybe off to the side and doing, I might do 3 bows. Decisions. Because he's so tiny. That's why I wanted to put him in the middle. All right, let's start with the outside of putting these guys on. And then we'll see how it goes, and that might help better decide if I wanted to do him on the inside or outside. I just love my turkeys. Okay, so these are 14 inches long, ducktailed them. Fold them in half, pinch it. And you're just going to go ahead and, like an accordion, fold it. Gosh, this is still hard with one finger. And I'm just going to bend it back a little bit. And I'm going to put these guys right in here. Dun, dun, dun. Right in there. You're not going to make a big X. You're going to make like a little X. I think I want to work them downwards. Let's switch this. So it kind of looks like this. Oops. Let me fix my bows. My ribbon tails. All right. So it's not like, you don't want to do like a big thing like this, because that just looks silly. So you just want to do it enough, and you want it facing down, because not everything is going to be facing up like this. You want something down here to cover your edges. So that's why you make these so that they face down a little bit. And I saw that these weren't quite in the center, so let me just shift this. There we go. Much better. Thank you, Venus. I thought it was cute. I love the turkey. It took a while for it to come in, so that's why I'm kind of late. Oh, it still didn't go center with them. But I'm so happy, and I've been waiting. And I was going to use, I did another turkey wreath tried last week that I did. and the colors just weren't right for it, you know? It was too modern of a turkey, I guess you can say. All right, so there we go, much better. And you just play with your ribbons. It's just enough to give you a hint of what's going on. So see? Voila. So we're going to do every other one with the turkey and every other one with the plaid. If I can get them even. Again, fold it in half. And like I said, all of them are cut at 14 inches. Now the one thing with the turkey, as you go around, he becomes upside down on the top. So I like to flip him, and so that he's not upside down. And you have to watch that when you do ribbon with words on it, because you don't want the people to be going like this, looking, you know, sideways on it. This is the hard part with this right now. Let's see if I can get you in there. Where are you? There you are. So that's something you may want to keep and take into consideration, you know, when if you're making a wreath. Let's see, upside down, backwards. Oops, curl them back. And I like to take them and just curl them back a little bit like that. So they're kind of sitting on the poof, like as if to say. Now you can cut these tails shorter if you want some. I've done them 14 inches, I've done them at 12 inches and stuff. So it just really depends on the wreath, you know, what you're doing and what you want done, kind of thing. So that's kind of what they look like. And at the end, I'll go back and I'll really, you know, fix them a little bit better. But as you're moving the wreath around and you're twirling it, everything goes crazy on you. You know, the poofs and everything. So it's like I hang it up and then I start going, ooh, you know, I got to fix this bow. And you can fix one, you go all the way around, fix it, and then you come back to the beginning. It's like you got to start all over again. Because you're just like never satisfied with what it looks like. That glitter all over me. So there we go. Turkey up on that side, turkey down on this side. Dun dun dun. Who's getting ready for Thanksgiving? Isn't that weird to say? Halloween is almost here, what, in 2 weeks? And then it's going to be Thanksgiving. Weird. Okay. So I've got 3. So I have 10 on the outside. So I want to do 5 with the turkey facing one way. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be the 5th one. And I got to make sure my turkey faces the other way. So he's right side up. I don't think he wants to be dead quite yet. I'm really squishing down on my mesh so I can make sure this is tight because I can't get in there that well with this baby. Oops, there we go. There we go. I like, you know, some ribbon you get is really, do I have anything up here? No. Like I love these ribbons. The plaid isn't as stiff. It's a little bit transparent. But the other ones are really like stiff. And I like the stiff ones. It's just a preference thing. Doesn't mean anything. Let's see if this will work, if I like this idea. No, I guess he's gonna be upside down turkey. Because it just looks weird. If I turn him up the other way. Let's see how he looks. We'll play around with it. That's a good thing. You can always take it apart and put it back together again. Oops. There we go. So turkey up on this side. And when you're doing it, you want to make sure you do this kind of the same thing. On the left side of the turkey, for instance, I have this part of him facing up and then the other part of him facing down. So you want to keep the consistency the same way around. You don't want to start reversing it. Kind of thing. So keep that in mind. Oops. Get up there, my poof. My poof unpoofed. There we go. Alright, so plaid. I did, well, I was talking about the turkey being upside down. I want him right side up, but then he looks weird. I did a wreath, and I didn't. Somebody else had done a wreath, and they had used the Santa boots, and it was to do something. And when they did it, they as they traveled around, the Santa's feet were like upside down, so it looked like he was standing on his head at one part and standing on his feet on another. And I thought it was just so funny, and I was like, ooh, I didn't think of that when I was doing that, you know. And sometimes, you know, you see other people's errors, and, you know, you figure it out for yourself as well. What works best, what looks best. And I try to be conscious about that, because I would want something that looks nice. I don't want to give somebody something that's ugly. Let me poof that back up. There we go. Oops, wrong way. Wrong way. There we go. Yay. So that's coming out cute. Ooh, turkey. Let's see what he looks like if I reverse him. I really want him facing up, but I may not have to put one. So let's figure this out. So if I do him in the middle, then I have to put the turkey all the way around. And of course I'm putting ribbon on the inside. If I put him off to the side, then I don't need to cover it here. What do you guys think? Off to the side, or should I put it in the middle? Vote, please. Vote, please. It's kind of hard when you're looking at it. Let me see if I turn him around my way. See, I think it looks cute in the middle. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think as I'm putting the ribbon around, because we know it would probably go all the way around the outside. If I put them all the way around. Alright. Let's just put it around and part way around, and then we can maybe see if that works. In the middle, Venus? See, that's what I thought, because I thought he would be lost on the outside. And then if I put him in the middle and I put a nice bow up top of him, I think that, you know, like a Lisa bow, I think that would kind of look nice. Willie, yay! I'm glad you found me, Willie. Alright. So, Willie, we're making a turkey wreath. And we're working on this. Got my broken thumb, doing the best I can, as fast as I can. I'm working as hard as I can. But this is just taking. I'm going to try to move a little faster. See if I can get this going. There we go. Ooh, that was pretty good. Now, I didn't cut all the ones on the turkey because I wanted to show you guys how I do it, in case you didn't know. And because I always like to still teach people, you know, teach people how I do things, because it's all about sharing and caring. I had to learn, and, you know, everybody likes things to do. And, you know, this is a cool craft, making the wreaths and stuff like that. And I would like to share. I mean, I learned how to toll paint, you know, painting on wood and stuff. And that was by somebody showing me how to do it. And I like doing that as well. There we go. But I've always done crafts. So, Willie, where are you actually from? I'm curious now. We have some people from Texas, from Canada here tonight. I know Virginia. Okay, last one, ladies. On the outside, that is. Oops. Here we go. Okay. I thought my ribbon flipped around when I was trying to twist it. Don't want it flipping. There we go. Oops, this one goes up here. Alright, so that's the outside. So on the inside, again, we have even amounts. So let's see. I guess I have to do the ribbons all the way around. But if I choose to put a bow up top, I don't have to do a ribbon at the one part there because the bow is going to kind of cover it. So, and so usually what I do, you know, when you make something, there's always that one spot that you're like, I don't really like as much as the others. So for whatever reason, it just is that way. So I pull all my ties up like this. And then I'm going to make a decision of where I want it to be. I think I'm going to put the bow here. Oh, and this one. Should I put it there or here? I think I'm going to put the bow here. So, what I'm going to do is this. So this is going to be my mark. I'm just taking a pen and I'm just curling these down because I left my pencil. It's underneath the camera and I don't want to go over there in case I jimmy the camera. And I'm just going to curl it down. There we go. There we go. Done. That was easy peasy. Alright. So let's get these guys going some more. Now because it's even on the outside amount and it's even on the inside, it doesn't matter where you're going to start the next one. But I may want a turkey right by the top of his head. So I'm going to start this one down here. I want to do that? Yeah. Because his feathers are a little shorter, I kind of want the turkey feather at the top of his little wings up there. But it doesn't matter really, but that's where I'm choosing it to go. I'm really going to go back and do all these and fix these better, but I don't, you know, I'll do that after I'm with you guys. Okay. So let's get in there. Turkey, turkey, gobble, gobble. Alright, there we go. That's going to be that one. And I may turn this around. Alright, so I had cut all these. So I'm going to finish up with these and I'll show you how I measured them all out and cut them all. Again, fold them in half. Easy peasy. You can do this. They have wire in them, so you can do kind of like whatever, which is what's so nice. Sometimes the thing is with wire, I love the wire ones, but some patterns and some of the ones that aren't wired, I was like, oh, why can't they make that in a wire ribbon? And I was like, come on, I really like that. So sometimes that happens too. But you go with the flow. Okay. So I know you guys can't really see this, so let me take a ribbon and see if I can do it this way. So some ribbon, because it's really thin, the edges will start to curl, you know, up on you. And if you make a really deep cut on it, you will find that they curl, you know, even more. So I try to keep mine, you know, this is, I don't know, about an inch on an angle, give or take. But you don't want to sell a wreath that has that because that's just tacky. Like, so you want to make sure that all the edges of your ribbons are nice and straight. And when you put it in, you can curl it back. See how that nicely curls like that? So I'll go back and fix all these because see, some of these are out because I'm keep leaning up against it. So that's something you may want to take in consideration. Hi, Susie. How are you? Hey, hey, hey. Susie, we talked about your ultimate mesh roller. And I'm going to show them how I'm going to collapse it down because I showed them how I had it with my mesh on it. And then of how I'm going to show them how I collapse it. And I got my ribbon already set up there so that they can see how to use it with ribbon as well. See, I'm on the ball. And like I said, everybody, share, like, give me some emojis. I put at the beginning on my Facebook page my link to the mesh roller and the fluff box, which we'll be using when I make the bow. So that way, if you guys want to go ahead and get those, go ahead. Oh, you just saw it? I know, Susie. I put it out about an hour ahead of time, my message for it. And I was like, oh, let me just message her in case she didn't see it. So I'm sorry. All right, so every other one. So we got one more, right? Because we're not doing this one, so I don't need this one, actually. Okay, so let me pull my ribbon out because I need turkey. That's all I need. So here's the mesh roller. Where'd this come from? Oh. So, how's my hand? My hand's doing fine. I actually go tomorrow. They had to rewrap it. This is a plastic bag on here, Susie. It's hard. And I tried putting this on it because this stuff that's under here keeps getting caught on the mesh. So, I was trying to figure out a way to do this without getting caught. So, I showed you guys how I had the mesh on here before. So this is the ribbon. This is the ribbon we're going to make the bow with. Let me move it a little bit more in front of me. Alright, so I have my 6 ribbons that I decided to use. I'm hoping I have enough of this one because I bought more and it's in the car. So these are the 2 I still need to make cuts on. So what I do... Did I put a pin back in there? Yes, I did. Let me put my pin here. I try to think smart. So what I will let me do it this way. You can put them side by side and put them underneath. The other way to do this too is I can stack them, my ribbons, so that I can make one cut. So this is the way I stack it. Whoops, I have a pin in here too. Didn't know I had that on there. Okay. So I bring both of them, I make them as even, put them through the bottom, and I'll pull them through. I'm going to put this back over here so I can show you. I'll pull it more on the tape. Hopefully it's in view more. No. Hi from Texas, Miss Kelly. How are you today? So with this one here, so I got them stacked, and I'm going to cut these at 14 inches. So let me just lift it up. So I measure out my 14 inches. Now I found some scissors I had laying around in my craft room, and these are really sharp. So I actually, the other day, I was using them, and I actually cut my hand on here because I went like this. I'm horrible. I'm horrible with sports or anything. All right, so see, now I can cut 2 of them at one time. Easy. They were not rolling around on the floor or anything like that, which is what I love about this mesh roller. And again, the link, I put it on my page earlier this evening before the live. So you guys can get it if you want. I can put it on here again because at the end, I'll go ahead and repost it because I have one hand. I do type lefty more than I type righty, even though I'm a righty, believe it or not. So I need 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 1. Oops. And here's 2. Oops. My scissor got caught between them. And I'm cutting these at 14 inches. Don't you love it, Venus? I can't tell you. This is like a blessing in disguise to have one of these things. Now, you know, there's all kinds of gadgets out there. All right, ribbons are done that you can use. Oh, I was at the end of my ribbon. Look at that. Didn't even know. I never throw these little scraps away. I'm like a little hoarder. I have a box down here. Didn't realize I was at the end. Yay, just made it. Hi, Barbara from Oklahoma. How are you tonight? Oh my gosh, we got them from Oklahoma, Texas, Canada in the house, Virginia. I love seeing people from all over the place. It makes it fun. Make it fun. All right, so let's move that baby back there. Now I'm going to cut my tails. So this is good. This is the fun part. I'm not going to use these scissors just because I cut myself on them already because they're kind of sharp. I'll do these in two. I take them, I line up the sides, and I fold it in half. Now you can do it this way, and then I just cut it on an angle. It's about an inch or so angle, and there's one tail. I'll show you another way with the next ribbon of how in cutting it. And you just kind of angle it. Like I said before, don't cut it too deep because then they start curling. Some people from Pennsylvania. Oh, cool. You can fold them like this in half like this. And if you want to cut four at one time, now I'll have to use these scissors. Oops. There we go. Oops. I'm trying to hold it with my one hand and it's can't get a grip. Ooh, I don't like that. Oh, that's fine. No, that's not fine. It shifted on this side. So when it shifts like that, see how the one side got cut deeper than the other? You can just line them up again and just kind of even it out. There we go. So I'm going to do it back the other way. Who has snow? We don't have snow here yet. It got down today. It was 58, 60, but with a breeze. I'm in Virginia, by the way. And I'll tell you, it's going to come sooner than later, all this cold weather. But then again, it's supposed to be nice come Thursday. We've had so much rain here. I feel like I live on Noah's Ark. It's just crazy. All right, so see, my turkeys are upside down. Let me flip that bunch around. There we go. I can leave those there. All right. So here's my turkeys from Kate, Texas. Okay, so there's another lady that was on here earlier, Venus, and she's from close to Dallas, Texas, North Park. So where is that, Mary Sullivan, in relation to you? Hi, Jan. How are you? I'd love to know where everybody's from. We're military, or were. My husband retired years ago, and we used to travel around. And I always think back, if I never met him, I'd probably still be living in the same state I was born in. So I love, over the years, meeting people from the different states and different countries, because I got to learn a lot. And to me, it was a good, educational thing for my kids, as well as for us. And when we lived in Alaska for about 3 years, and then we moved to Florida. And when we moved down to Florida, we were there, a year and a half. I went to my kids' school, and I would take things in talking about Alaska, because in Florida, you don't hear many people that lived in Alaska, to be honest. And it was just something cool to do. And my kids, were little. They were in kindergarten and second grade, so I don't know if they remember that or not. But and I just love knowing where people are from. And I think if I never met him and I stayed in my same state, would I have ever gone to these different states and places, traveled? You never know. But I really, Joe, I've met so many people, and I love doing this and meeting the people from different places. It's so much fun. In South, 7 miles from Red River, next to Oklahoma. Do you guys you don't get like tornadoes in that part? Because I know Oklahoma is like Tornado Alley, kind of thing. Maybe in some places, not all the places in Oklahoma. We lived in Kansas, and there was one that touched down maybe 20 minutes away. We were there for just a year, and that was scary. Lived through earthquakes, Alaska, earthquakes here in Washington, D.C. I was literally in the parking garage, and all the alarms going off. I just arrived to work, and the alarms are going off, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I come upstairs, and everybody's like running out of the buildings, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they said, earthquake, and I went, oh God, and I was in a parking garage. You know, you watch all those movies on TV, you know, and I'm like, thank God the thing didn't come down on top of me. It didn't. Nothing happened, you know, there. But it was like crazy. And I worked retail, and we went back into the store, and things had fallen off the shelves in some places. We couldn't open the store till we made, because it was very high shelves, where you have to take like a 12-foot ladder to get up. And we had to go back in there and make sure everything was like okay, so nothing would fall down on customers or anything like that. Okay, so you are in Tornado Alley? Oh, Arizona, oh my God. Are you guys haven't had any this year, have you? I know Oklahoma got hit a couple of years ago because I watched The Voice and Blake Shelton was on. So I know he did a big thing back then for to raise money. The bottom, Charlene, the bottom mesh is, it's a chocolate, like a chocolate brown. And it has an orange, like, I'll use the word foil in it, so it gives a little shimmer and shine. Hobby Lobby had it. What we're doing now is we're going to figure out, because this is going to be the top here. We're going to put a bow. We're making a turkey. The ribbon, I'll tell you in a second. The turkey ribbon, I believe I got from Craft Outlet. The plaid ribbons, this plaid ribbon and this one I got from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still have any or not. Yeah, I think it's Hobby Lobby. I know this plaid one is. The solid one might be Michael's, actually. I shop, you know, whether it's Michael's, Joann Fabrics, or Craft Outlet, Decor Exchange. You know, I can just go online, and if I see it, I like it, you know. Or I find it in the store, and you're like, you have to have it. So this is the guy. The reframe is from Dollar Tree, the frame. We got, this guy is hand-painted by a girl who's going, putting herself through college, and she paints these to, you know, help cut her cost. Isn't he cute? All right, so this is Mindy Spink. She doesn't have a website or anything like that. If you want one, let me know, and I will get in contact with a friend of hers is selling them for her. But I want to make sure she can, if you want one, she does this one. Do I? Oh, I have them all up on my things. I have a cardinal. I know I have another. Oh, wait. Here it is. This one's really pretty. I like this one too. She painted this one as well. She has stockings. She has gift packages like mittens and stuff that she does. So if you really want one, you know, just put a comment on here, because I go back and I look at my comments to make sure I didn't miss something from somebody. Thank you for the colors. I like them too, Charlene. Oh, those candy canes. Okay. Hey, Janice from South Carolina. How are you? All right, so the candy canes. Let me switch, go around this way. So these babies just made last week. My daughter actually got a crash course because of my broken thumb. She was gracious enough to come and help me. So I had to show her how to make it, because pulling the ribbon out, you know, was a little hard. And I'm going to be doing these on a live this week or next week. I have this lined up. I'm going to do some centerpieces. I have a Christmas centerpiece and a fall centerpiece I want to do with you guys. These guys, I call them the wraparound. I don't know what they technically call them. The ribbon is wrapped around, and you can do any, you know, type of ribbon. These are great. This style of ribbon is a polyester. So if you're going to put it outside, like I had a lady who wanted one for a gravesite. So the ribbons that I chose on these don't bleed. So that's something I take into consideration when I make some of my wreaths. So actually all of them don't. These are a little bit more to be inside, kind of thing. But they're all in my Etsy shop. And then this guy, I have to show you this guy because I love him. Look at my snowman. Can you guys see? He is so soft. It's like fleece. You know, those soft blankets. And he's made in 3 sections with grapevines in a little hat, very fine hat. And then I have Let It Snow. I just love him. I hate to sell him, but you know. But we might be making some more of these in my live too. I had to make one because I wanted to make sure, because that's a crochet type of stuff, and I'll show you. It's stuff like this that I made him with. And, oh, this is so soft. And it's just like loops. It's just loops on it, and I use it in crocheting. I can't crochet to save my life. I have tried and tried and tried and tried. My mother would sit with me, and she'd do this, you know, knit one, purl one kind of thing, and I would still make it wrong. So I gave up on crocheting. Gave up on it. Okay, so this guy. So let's make some decisions here. We know I'm going to put a bow up here, and we're going to put this guy in the middle. I think he's going to look cute. Look at that. Can you see that? Let me see. I got a delay reaction here. Yes, Venus, you can message me. That's fine. So I think that would be fine, and then just put a nice bow up here. So how would I attach him? That's the new thing. I have things to attach him with, and I was debating if I would attach his head. I guess I would have to. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So, can't do that. Can't grab it with this. I do have a crown on, Stacy, and the crown is on my head. So there's 2 reasons it's on my head. One, because I told my granddaughter I would, and she would have to come on the live. She's in bed now, but she was on it earlier. Secondly, what it was from, I was in a business class with Damon Oates. He's a business, he makes wreaths and everything. Y'all may have heard him. And I was in one of his classes that went for 6 weeks. So at the end, I decided to do, as our graduation day, I put a sign on the back of my seat saying, Damien, when everybody's here, just say yes really loud. And I stood off to the side because it was a live video we were doing. And I heard him reading it, and he goes, oh gosh, you know, because I'm the silly one in the group. And gotta put my glasses on. Lost my glasses. Where'd they go? Here they are. And I was looking for a cap and gown, and I couldn't find one. Kind of out of season right now. And so I found the crown, because we were in the group called like the Crafty Coins. So I kind of named ourselves the Crafty. Well, I named ourselves Crafty Coins. He called it the Coin Club. And so I came in with the crown on. I had beads around, because you know in the gowns they have those ribbon things. And I had everybody's name on a little circle behind me. I think it's on one of my lives I did. I was talking about it. And I played the graduation song. So I came walking around, you know, my craft table. I had a scroll rolled up with a pipe cleaner or chenille stem, because we're crafty people. And I had a gold cheerleading pom-pom as well. And I sat down, and everybody started laughing, of course. And I did one of these hear ye kind of thing. And I said, Damon, Dean Damon. And I went through this whole thing. I'm getting my rapid fuse, and I'll talk about that. And I did this whole thing of, you know, what he taught us. And I put some jokes in there. At least I thought they were jokes. And that's what I did. And everybody just loved it. So that's where the crown came from. So I've had it sitting on the back here, but I told my granddaughter if she were to come on tonight, I would wear it. So that's why I have it on. So this is what they call rapid fuse. It's an all-purpose type adhesive. Yeah, I find mine in Joann's store, and there's only one store here in Joann's that does. It's my one down in Woodbridge, Virginia, not the one closer to me. And it was like $5.99 at the store. Some people have said they found it in Walmart. You can go online. But even though this is peel and stick, these are cable ties. So like, you know, you do electrical cables. I put some of this on here just to give it a little extra adhesion to this. Oops, here we go. As I try not to, gosh, if this stuck to the plastic bag, I'd be here forever. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 on because this is a small one. So I'm going to put it down here, one over here, and one on the top of his head. All right. Now oh, look, I stuck my fingers together. It's silly. Since I'm using the orange chenille stems on the wreath, I'm going to use the same ones for him. You're not going to see because it's going to be behind him anyway, but I like to pick something, you know, the same color. I don't know why I folded that in half. I'm going to thread it through and just twist tie it. That's all I'm going to do. So these cable mounts, like you can get them, you know, you can get them at Home Depot or something like that. I think I got mine off of Amazon. And it was like something like, I don't know how many per bag. I was looking for my bag. I had it here, I thought. Yes. Came in a bag like this. And it had, oh, it doesn't even say how many it had. I think it was like 100 or something of them in there. Bag's so noisy. Kind of thing. So that. So and they have 4 little holes in the 4 sides of it, and I'm just threading it through and twist tying it up. Or twisting it up, twist tying it. And that's all I'm doing. So this is what we're going to thread through the wreath to hold them in. Easy. I know, I always do things. I have that one granddaughter lives 4 hours away from me, and she's 7 years old. I haven't, so I don't get to see that much because now that she's in school. I have another granddaughter that lives closer to me, and I watch her. She's only 3 1/2. So when the other one was in school, when she was a littler, I used to go out there like 3 times a year. I save all my vacations and go out there, and I'd watch her while the other grandmother would take vacations. So that's what I used to do. But now, like I said, she's in school. I don't get to see her that much. So I'm going to take this, and we already had decided, I already curled down the twist ties here because that's where my bow's going to go. And I'm going to put this baby right in the center. And I'll just thread this. I'm going to put these down through here. I'm going to bring them together and just put them down the center hole. And what I'm going to do is pull them up through the rings on the other side. I'm going to have to stand up, so I may disappear from this. What are they called? Are you talking about the cable ties that I put on the back of the turkey? We do all sorts of things with our grandkids. I know, Susie. I can't tell you how much I do. Just I like playing with the kids. That's a kid of heart. That's all it is. All right, so I'm going to just tie this around. Most people won't tell you to flip your wreath over and do this, that you can do it from underneath. But since I'm limited, I have to do it this way right now. All right. So we're going to see if I get this baby all centered on the first shot, or if I have to go through and do it a second time. Which is okay. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Yes, Rhonda. I have my crown on. I had to wear it. The little white squares. They're called cable ties. You can find the white squares. You can go to Amazon. They sell them. Like Home Depot and Lowe's sells them as well. And it's like when you know, for your cables, your electrical cables. They come in white or black. The ones I get are about 1 inch square. They vary on prices, so you just have to shop around for what you want. All right, let's see where that is. That's a little too high. All right, now I can sit down a little bit. No problem, Stacy. No problem at all. Which way do I tie this? Okay, gotta move that down. Come here, come here, come here. So, is anybody here that's online going to the wreath convention coming up this weekend? I'm not going to be able to go, but curious, is anybody else going? I know Damon is going. I know Susie Brown, are you going? I don't know if you were going or not. There's a whole bunch of people I know that are going, but I can't go this year. They're going to have another one in July, but they're supposed to be streaming it live, so maybe I can catch that. I don't know if I'll be able to. We'll see. Where's this other one? Here it is. Let's see where that is. Oh, much better. Okay. So I may go back and tighten them a little bit more, but I'm going to just get them tight enough so that we can continue with making him. Voila. Now my bows all got squished. Par for the course when you turn it upside down. They all got squished. I like to pull them back out. Oops, wrong way. And kind of cover the edges of them a little bit, because it kind of nestles him in there, so to speak. And like I said, I'll go back and do these, since I'm one-handed in the sense of saying. Let me tie this one a little tighter. There we go. And then I'm going to curl all these down. I thought about, and I'm going to ask you, compared, where did you get the turkey? Can you show the candy canes behind you? Sure, Nancy. Give me 1 second and I'll do that. What I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think? Oh, my ribbon is all kabobbled. Turn it upside down. Oops, this way. Do that right? Yeah. I was thinking of putting, oh, I guess I had a piece that was on there. Maybe some of this in there, but I thought the brown on top of the brown wouldn't look good. So I had this green. But then I thought, just as a little extra piece in there. But then I thought if I put the green on top, I didn't want it, to cover the turkey. What do you guys think? Should I use it or just leave it? Put this back over here. So either hey or nay on using the green little netting or the brown little netting. I call it netting. It's probably not the correct term. Looks like a net you throw in the water. It's really pretty though. I like using it though. Okay, so Nancy, where did you get the turkey? There's a girl, I believe she lives down in South Carolina. She makes the turkeys. She does different ones, and she paints them to help pay her way through her college. So if you're interested in it, just put a message on there, and I'll do it. Yeah, see, Venus, I didn't think so either. I was kind of like, no, I really want the turkey to stand out. My ribbons really got kabobbled. Oh my gosh. It's a new word, kabobbled. It's not really, but... Oops. Oh wait. Alright, so I want to I'm going to continue. I don't want to continue doing this because I want to show you guys how to make a Lisa bow. Because Lisa bows, to me, it was the first bow I learned how to use or make. And everybody has their own favorite. I have the Pro Bow the hand to make bows, and I'm just so used to making the Lisa bows that it's hard to break an old habit, you know? So let's put this baby down, and we're going to make one bow to go on top of him. So, oops, let me get my pins around. Sure, Stephanie. What I'll do is I have to message the lady. The girl doesn't have a website page that makes the turkey, you know. She does turkeys. She has, makes cardinals and stockings and presents and mittens and stuff. But she doesn't have a website, so the lady, a friend of hers, is actually helping her sell them, so to speak. And I just want to make sure that if I'll contact her and say, hey, these two ladies are interested, and she can, you know, you can go through her and find out about it. Candy canes, Nancy. The candy canes, sure. So there's two types of candy canes I have here. I have them on hangers because that's my fireplace. Oops. The hanger's caught on the tag. Okay, guess I'm not taking the hanger off. So this is what we call the poof method. This is 3 ribbons, 3 different types of ribbons that are similar. You can do anything you want. I just chose these. And you want to find something that's kind of a little bit along the line and stiff. Say, I can sit here all day and I'll go through these. And you see behind it, you see all the zip ties. So the frame is from Dollar Tree. And then I put zip ties. I have 4 per thing. I'm going to be doing these on one of my lives. And then I make a bow. Now you can put picks and different things in here if you want to make it even more fancy. It just depends how you're doing it or what you want it to look like. I chose to, the blues, I chose just to do a blue, pick up 1 or 2 of the colors in the ribbon and then bring some other accents in it. This has white with snowflakes on it. This one's pretty because it's white and it has the silver trim, but the words say, "Oh Holy Night." So I wanted, you know, just something different. But you can always change up the bows. If your customer doesn't like the bow, you can always change it up. This one is another one here. And this one is like, some people call it champagne. Some people might call, there's like a gold in here, like a rose gold. Can you guys see that? Let me see. I got a delay from between here and here. So I don't know if you guys can see that very well or not. To you, it probably looks just like it's off-white because the ribbon, it's just pretty soft colors. And I took a burgundy, it's like a burgundy deep red with holly on it, lighter holly, and you know the colors. This has the gold, the rose gold and stuff in it to make the bow in it. These other babies, now I have these stacked on things, so I did 2 different, if you can see if I can get them off the hangers without, there we go. There's 2 different types of bow. This is what we call the Lisa bow, and that's the one we're going to be making tonight on the turkey. And this is a Dollar Tree frame, and wrapping the ribbon around. And this is polyester ribbon, so it's, I don't know if you can hear it. So it's great for outdoors. It doesn't run or anything like that, like it bleeds, like if it gets wet. Then this is just another one, a different type of bow, terry bow. So it just depends what you want to make. So I make them in different colors just to make it fun. This guy has, this is all the candy cane on it. I have, oh, this guy had the elf leaves on it. Elf feet, not leaves. Gosh. So these are fun to make. These are really fun to make. And this doesn't really take that long to make. It's a little bit longer process. But They're just so much prettier, and it's thicker, like a little thicker. And you could probably still put it in between the door. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Venus. How do you add a way to hang? Oh, on these? They're all the same. Well, it's a little different on both. So, let me show you. This is stuck in the hanger again. There we go. So, when I bring on these ones here, when I bring the bow around, it's on a chenille stem or a pipe stem. I don't know if you could see the white on the white. And then I bring a different color hanger. Now the hanger has to be towards the inside, because if you hang it on the outside, your candy cane's going to go like this. By hanging it on the inside, you see it hangs like that. If I were to put it on the outside, you know, side of the candy cane, it would hang like that. So, and that's all I did. This one here, because I used a wire to make the bow, and then when I finished, I took a piece of this and wrapped it around so you don't see the wire. So, but from behind here, it has wire. Okay, and then again, I used the chenille stem to hold it. Now you can make this shorter if you want to. I make them a little bit longer, and I tell the customer you can, because it's just twisted around on there, that they can cut it to make it shorter, because some of them may not have the door hooks, you know. I don't know how they're going to hang it. So I give them the option, you know, as far as that goes. Yeah, I like giving tips to people. I don't mind. Whoops. Let me turn it around the other way. So, oops. But you can do it however you feel works for you. If you find a different way, go for it. Turn around, baby. There you go. All right. So let's make the Lisa bow. So like I said earlier, I have my ribbons right here. I have them all lined up. This is going to be my bottom one. I just shifted that. There we go. Oops. It's going to be my bottom one, next one, and I kind of graduate up. This one's so cool because this one has acorns on it, but it's the same color like in the turkey. The base and all, and I just thought it would be so cool. I haven't used it yet, needless to say. And it has a little bit of glitter on it. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you could see the little bits of glitter. Sometimes it doesn't quite show up in the light. Yeah, you guys can't really see it. But there's a little bit of gold, like a bronze or orangey kind of glitter on it. All right. Now the Ultimate Mesh Roller, I did post it earlier. I will post it at the end of these comments if you want to get one of these. Girls, ladies, men, gentlemen, you can't go wrong with that. Because this is, like I said, I'm going to show you guys how I collapse it all later on after I take all the finish with the ribbon. This is the bow dabber. You can get this Michael's, Joann's, wherever. Use your coupons. This is what's going to hold the ribbon, in. So the first part you have to decide is how big you want to make your loops. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. Oops. I'm going to pull my ribbon through like I did earlier so it's underneath. It stays nice and flat. See if I can move this in closer so you guys can see as I use it. I tried to make my camera go the other way and it didn't work too well. I was sideways on my iPad. Okay, so I got to determine how long I want my tails. Now, when you make these bows, so like if you look at this one, the tails look like it's all even, so it looks like it's a circle. You can make them longer, but if you make, the tails are the edge pieces. If you make them longer as the ribbon starts stacking up to make the, you go from large to small, then this ribbon here is going to cover your loop on the other bow, from underneath. And that's the whole purpose, is to have your loops to show so it looks pretty. So you determine how big you want to make this first of all. So I'm going to look at making this, let's say if I'm going to make the bow 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Let's say if I'm going to make it 10 inches. So I'm going to take this, and I'm probably going to do this, pull, let's say 8 inches, okay? I'm going to dovetail this one first, just because I know it's going to be at the end. What I'll do at the end, I'll dovetail them all after I get it set on there, or when I fluff my bow, just because it makes it easier, because then you can see the bow all gathered. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this 10 inches long. Now, if you feel like I think this is going to be too small, one thing I will do is I will take my wreath, and I kind of do like this. If this is the middle, and I kind of go like this. This may be big enough because I don't really want it to cover his face. So I think 10 inches is good enough, because it doesn't need to be such a big bow. Oops. So let's go back to this. I said 8 inches here, and we're going to do 10 inches here. You fold it down. This is a stiff ribbon, so it's going to buckle like this. Just poof it out. There's one loop. Now again, I don't have my thumb, so this is going to kind of weird. You can figure out the best way for you to hold it, but I'm doing chopstick version. Make my other loop at 10, fold it around again. Now I'm going to flip my bow just because, again, I'm handicapped with the one finger. So this is going to be my top of my bow. So you want to make sure that everything is facing top-wise, okay? And I'm going to do another loop at 10. Bring it in, tuck it around. I'm going to use this baby to put him in here. Now, I have 2 loops on one side, and I have 1 loop on the other, okay? So we're going to make like a little person. Like he's going to have waving hands. Let me pull this one through here. Twist the bottom one so it's facing up. You wouldn't believe how difficult this is without that one finger. Okay. So, what you see here, it looks like he has 2 legs, a head, and 2 arms. See how cool that is? So we're going to do that. And then what I'll do is I'll cut my tail. I can kind of measure it to be about the same. If it's a little bit longer, I'm not worried about it. So that's the bottom part of my bow. So roll up my ribbon here. I always keep, oh, I can't do this lefty. Oops, let me see if I can get the pin in here. Oh, look at that. Look what they did with the ribbon. They kind of glue-pieced it together. I hate that. Let me cut that off. So, that's just weird. Yeah, it's glued together. Oh, guess they didn't want to spare the expense of not getting their money's worth when they were making these. This ribbon comes from Hobby Lobby. Most of them are going to be Hobby Lobby, Joann's. So just to let you guys know, Joann's or Michael's. Come here, pin. Okay. So I'm going to leave this one out because my hand cramps. So again, I'm going to do this one at 8 inches. Oh, let me ducktail it first. So at least I have one ducktailed. And you got to watch it because sometimes these little wires come out. So that's why you always make it a nice finished edge when you're doing yours. So 8. Now because I did this one 10 inches, I'm going to do this one, let's try 9 inches and see how that works. And what you want to do, you want to make it a little bit shorter than the bow underneath it. 9, uh-oh. I don't think I'm going to have enough. And I'm not. Okay, guess we're not going to use that baby. We'll just zip on down to the next one because I have 6 up here. You can make these any length you want. You know what I'm going to do? I'll do this one and then I'll put the turkey ribbon in there. No, I've got the orange ribbon I can use. See, you gotta ad lib sometimes. There we go. Let me put this over here. So, what did I say? Do this one at 7. And this one was at 10, so we're, what did I say, 8? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So no, let's go 9. Oh, I did this backwards. There we go. See what happens when you have it on there? Hey Susie, how are you? Hey Delia, from Brownsville, Texas. I have a lot of Texans in here tonight. Cool. All right, I'm trying to do this with a broken finger. Now this ribbon doesn't have a good side and a bad side. One side has some sparkles on it, one side does not. All right, I'm going to put this over here because I can't do it that way. All right, so this time I will have to twist my bow around to make it fit. Not make it fit, to make my right sides out. Now this time, you see how we had the two little arms, the head and the legs on the bottom? This time we're going to flip it. We're going to do it reverse. So there's my 2 feet. This is going to be on this side. Okay. And there's my head. So see how it's different on the other side? Got my thing. Oh, I didn't ducktail that first one. Oh well. Susie, Northern New York. Okay, I'm from Long Island, originally born and raised. So where in Northern New York? My husband was born up there near Albany. So where or is the northern part you're from? I love finding out where people are from. All right, so this is a plaid one here. This doesn't really have a right or a wrong side on this one, but I still like to keep them the same. I'm going to make the tail 7. That one we did 8, so we'll make this one 7 inches. Or maybe I might do another 8 inches. I think I'll do another 8. Oh, that's what I was doing, because that one was 8. That one was 9. So again, I want to make it a little bit shorter so you can see the bow underneath it. Everything's bigger in Texas. That is true, my dear. That is so true. And it's funny. Doesn't Matthew McConaughey live down there? Doesn't he have a ranch? I think a lot of people have ranches. All those millionaire people. All right, so bear with me as I twist and turn this because of my finger. Make sure your ribbon's nice and out because once you put the tie in there, you don't want to have it all scrunched up and then you can't make it look pretty. All right, so again, we're going to flip it around. We're going to put his legs on the other side. Or his arms, I should say, not his legs. There we go. And there's that one. Oop, that's the way it goes. There we go. And I'll cut this one. This is the first time I'm using this plaid one, and I think it's kind of pretty. Oops, pulling the wrong one. I always have to have my bling, ladies, and I'm going to see if I can shift over this way. So that way I can bring the mesh roller in so you guys can see really what I'm doing. I'll be scrunched. Let me move this to the other side. Maybe that's better. Yeah, much better. I have 2 scissors because one's a little sharper than the other. But one's longer and okay. 2.5 hours from Syracuse, 1 hour from Canadian border. So my husband lived, like I said, up in Loudonville, which is near Albany. A little bit. Syracuse, I think, is a little bit. Well, is it north? I think it's still a little bit more north of Albany, isn't it? I forgot my geography. We haven't lived there in many years. Alright, so here I'm going to take the orange one. Let me ducktail this one. I like this one because in the turkey there's a little bit of sparkle, gold sparkle, and I just like to keep, just to kind of make the wreath a little bit brighter, so it's not all so monotone, so to speak. So I'll make this one 6 inches here. We did 10, 9, 8. So this would be 7 inches, this one. Here we go. Ooh. Come here, fingers. Almost done. Oh, this is another stiff ribbon. Come here, you. Alright, let's reverse them. Feet are going to go here. Head is going to go here. Now this little gadget that comes with this is what you can use to push down. What I have a tendency to do sometimes is I'll do this and put it off to the side, and then I'll take my next ribbon and I'll put it on top, and it's not to the very end. I realize that I've left that in there, and then I have to take my bowl apart to get it back out. So I don't use it too much. If I'm doing a lot of ruffles and cruffles, so to speak, or truffles, I will use it. Now this is a sheer brown, because I didn't want so much orange in there. I had to bring some brown in there. We have 5 hours north of Ormond. See, I thought you were north. Yes. Oops. We used to call, okay, so when I lived on Long Island, you have Long Island, New York City, and upstate. In doing that, us from the island would say that the people that lived upstate were hillbillies. And my husband, to me, had a twang accent. And he would always tell me, no, I had the accent, because I don't have it now because we've lived in the South so long, that I had that, you know, heavy New Yorker accent, like this kind of thing, you know, like thing like that. And certain words, I still have it. But if I talk to somebody or I hear a certain word, like we say two beer, and other people will say 2 beers, or we used to say pocketbook, whereas other people say purse, or we say soda, and other people say pop. So it's weird, even though we're all English, you know, American, it's weird. You go to a different state and it's something different. This, I forgot to tell you, I'm making it at 6 inches long. Okay. Oh, see, I almost put it in there. There we go. Now this ribbon, it doesn't matter if you twist it or anything, because it's see-through. It's the same on both sides. All right, put that off. I like the colors too. When you see it on the wreath, because I have the wreath down here since we're cutting this, it's all, I don't want to say monotone colors, but it's all within the turkey, you know, for fall and Thanksgiving, with what we're doing with the wreath. I didn't want to bring so much dark brown into it, because the wreath is being the dark chocolate and as well as the turkey. Now you see, I didn't cut that off very well. When you get a new ribbon, it's always folded back, and the thing is, if you don't cut it off, that crease where it's folded sometimes does not come out, and then it just doesn't look good when you're trying to do that. Okay, so ducktail this baby. All right. So I'm going to make it still at 6 inches. I always make them like a little bit bigger. I don't care, you know, I cut it off. So this one's going to be 5 inches because he's just a touch, because I don't want it to take away so much from the turkey. And you know what I was going to do? No, I got the orange in here. Okay. So 5 inches. I swear, if I would have had to eat Chinese food with these 2 fingers right now, I'd be great. I'm not great at chopsticks by far. All right, so reverse it. We're going to put the 2 feet one side and the head and the toe on the other. Oop, I think I put it upside down. That's why it's not working. Hold on. Yep, I did. So I don't have to twist it as much. Here we go. Got that baby. Done. All right. So I kept flipping it. So these are the arms and head for this one and the feet here. Then I flipped it and flipped it back and forth. I'm just putting this in here. So let me move this out of my way since I'm going to bring the wreath back up here. Get my wire because I have my wire down there. Roll up that to get it out of the way. Cool. My little pins. I got this little thing. I don't know. Oh, I think it was at the Dollar Tree. And I bought it because my pins, I had them in another container and it was just not working. So I got that. Now, with this you can either use wire or you can use the chenille stems, these guys. And if I use these, I usually put 2 of these together. So I look at the ribbon that I have and what I've been using on my wreath to decide if I want to do either or. So I've been using the orange ones, and I could still use the orange one in there, and I think I will, just to keep it all consistent today. And what I do is I just twist tie to these, I tweak them together like that. And then when I bring it down, I usually just twist tie this round around there just to kind of hold it in place. You're not going to see it. It's going to be disappeared in between the mesh and stuff. But that's how I do it. I'm trying to get it to be flatter. There we go. So I kind of pull these to be about halfway. So that part is not really in the middle. Okay, this is the fun part because this is going to be my top. Lay it across. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Show you a little trick. Oops, where's my others? And then I'm going to put the pipes in on. I'm going to cut a little piece of this. Good idea if I do it right. You can thread this through the bottom underneath here. Let me get it straight. Pull this up a little, thread it through here. Oops. Maybe I could do there if I had it straight and just thread it through straight instead of trying to get caught on. Ah! Come on. Oh, it's getting caught in the ribbon. Come on, come on, come on, come on, go, go, go. Oh, goodness gracious me. Of course, my plan now is not working and I just lost the wire on the floor. Here we go. So my object is you thread it through, which I should have done first. There we go. All right. Watch, I should cut it longer. Squish your bow down. Because it would help if I had a bigger hand. Did I just pull the wire through? Where are you? Oh, forget it. My wire came back through. All right. So put your chenille stem on top. Bring it around. And twist it on the bottom. My point of using the wire is you could put the wire underneath, twist it around, and then you could put your chenille stem over on top of it. So that way, when you take it out, but unfortunately for me and my funky little hand, it's making it a little hard. Then I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to twist it a couple of times from behind. Okay? Painful. Now, the fluff box. I put this again in the beginning of my Facebook page for tonight's live, so it has the link and all for it. Oops. There's a little eye hook here and a nail. This box is heavy. So you can hook your bow just enough in there, wrap your stems around that like twice, whatever, doesn't matter. This holds your bow in place, so as you're fluffing it, it makes it easier, okay? So I start on the bottom, and I just take my items, my bows, my ribbon, and I just start pulling it out. Okay? I'll go back and I'll ducktail everything else. My next one was the orange one. I always start, it's just me, I start on the side that has the two ribbons because I want one so it's like a triangle. And I take the edges or the end pieces, the tails, and I'll just put them in between. There we go. And this one too. Next one is my plaid one. So my plaid one has two on this side. So I'm going to pull them out. I have one in the middle here. Pull my tails out a little. So you want to, you know, so it's like every other one. It's like 2, 1, 2, 1 as it goes up, but you're spreading it out. Next is my orange. And I usually stand up for this, but since I'm sitting down so you guys can see me. The fluff box. I put it on the top of, if you go on my Facebook page, I put it there. But it comes from Probo the Hand. And I put the link up there as well. It's probothehand.com. You know, www.probothehand.com. The Ultimate Mess Roller. Again, I'll put them both at the end of the comments, both the links for you. So you can do it. Go and look for them. This is so nice. I'm going to paint mine. Everybody's painting theirs lately. And I was debating on what color I should paint mine. And some have done it in lime green or pink and purples and stuff. I like purple personally. But I think I want to paint the sides. Like I like to paint on wood. So I think I'm going to paint the sides. I don't know, maybe one for every season. Like a fall, a winter, a Christmas, spring, and summer. Just to, you know, and leave the box a solid color of some sort. Just because when I put the bow on it, I don't want to lose it in the bow. Probably drive me crazy, but everybody has their own way of doing things. Oh, here it is. So here's my 2. This is my 1. This is my 2 and my 1. Now these ones in the middle, I like to kind of poof them up like that so it looks like a center of a flower. But again, you can do whatever. Now you see what I was saying before? How as you start going up, the tail is covering the loop. And that's the whole purpose of having the loop, is so that you can see it. So I'm going to cut the tail back. As long as I don't cut my hand. And I'm going to see where I want to put it. Right now I'm making it about even with the loop. I may want to cut it a little shorter. But I'll probably do that once I get it on the wreath. These are my little acorns. Yeah, no problem. I don't mind helping anybody, showing them or telling them. That's what we're all about, is teaching. And everybody learns. I had to learn somewhere. I didn't know that I was like, what's a fluff box? You're fluffing your bow. That's what it is. Alright. So we'll leave those there. Let's do the brown. I feel like a hairdresser sometimes. You know, when you're cutting the hair on something. I was going to take my glasses off, but I decided not to. Alright, so almost done with this. Let's do this one. This one's really long. But again, I would rather have it longer and cut it back than have it too short and then go, it looks ugly. And then I have to redo the whole bow again. Orange. Oh yeah, look how long that one is. Da-da-da. Getting good at pinching. This one's just a little shorter on that one. Okay. So I'll fluff this out a little bit more once I get it on. But let's get this baby on so you guys can see. See, that one's already too long. I knew that. Okay, fluff box. And you know, I didn't have the fluff box when I first started. And I can't tell you, I was like, why am I going to buy a heavy box that does that? And I thought, oh, I'll just do it. But when you're trying to hold it in your hand and you're trying to fluff the bow out and turn it and everything, it just makes it so much more sense to do that. Now, we didn't want such a big bow because this is such a little guy here. And let me just twist tie this one off. And where did my pen go? Lost my pen. Just curl them down. Okay. So here we go. Now sometimes when you look at your bows, you find one side that you like better. That looks like the top and one looks like the bottom kind of thing. So you just kind of have to look at it and decide which way you want it to go. And I know this is too long, but I don't think it really matters on this one. Okay, so I'm going to put this baby right here. I'm deciding if I want to make more bows. That's how I decide. Thank you, Margarita. I like the colors too. You know, you can make it all like dark brown. Like I made another one. I used the big polka dot ribbon, and I made it in, you know, all the colors that were on the turkey, like the burgundy, the orange, the yellow, the green, kind of. So let's see. I think I want to turn my bow. Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. I was like, why is that bow sitting so low? There we go. I grabbed the twist tie that I put him on with. And I think what I'm going to do is lower him a little bit. And he's not quite centered because I just shifted it from behind. So bear with as I try to do this the best I could here. All right. Oops. Caught. I think I'm going to make another bow, maybe two. And I'm going to lower him down a little bit so you can see his head a little bit better. And I'm going to go back and fix these babies since I squished this baby upside down and backwards and inside out tonight. But I think he's cute. Look at my ribbons are all tucked in under here. So that's one thing. And I'm going to take all these. And what I do with these, I just make sure I got them twist tied good. Whoops, where's my shingle stem? And then what I do is I'll just twist tie them again, and then I'll curl these down. Because I'm not going to put anything else with them. I think maybe two more bows. What do you guys think? I didn't want to put a really big bow to cover him, and if I move him down a little bit, I think if I take him down like this, and if I do maybe two more here, or should I do like two down here? What do you guys think? You know, it's one of those projects when you look at it, you hang it up, and then you go back like the next day, and you're like, oh, I should do this, you know, kind of thing. So this is, I have to show you this because you guys are going to laugh at me. So this is my broken hand. I'm not showing you the broken hand. Don't get nervous. This is just on here because the mesh kept getting caught on my, I have this underneath. Yes, 2 bows. I think so too. I may adjust them like off to the, like maybe put a bow here and here instead of just in the center. This is a plastic bag, y'all. That's what my hand actually looks like. And that was on there because of the mesh. So what do you think? I'm going to take this bow off. Which way did I twist it? This way, I think. And I think maybe what I'll do is maybe do 2 bows, like one here kind of thing, maybe. I have to look at it. I do like one in the center, but maybe just 2, I don't know, maybe 3, just like right here. No, I don't want them down there. I want it down there. I have to look at that. See how creative you guys get? You guys help me out with it. And that's what I like about getting you guys interactive on things. So kind of cool. Whoops. That guy goes that way. So yeah, I may have to look at it and see if I should do 2 bows, like one here and here. That looks silly. I would have to do 3 then if I do this. And that might be kind of cool because it's like his tail feathers, you know, fanning out. I think that might be cool to do 3. Just small ones like this. Again, not to be so big and dramatic on it that I take away from him, but just enough. It kind of nestles him in there. And maybe just do that. You guys think so? Like if I do one here, small one here, you know, the same thing. Or maybe this big one here and just 2 smaller ones down there. You know, smaller than this, just to give it a little something. 3 bows. See, I think so too. I think I'll have to make two more. I think 3 would be nice. Yeah, I think 3. Who knew? Yeah, small ones. Because again, this is kind of like up here, just little ones in here. And I can also do, I'm going to use this ribbon. You know, sometimes when you want to fill in, like in these spots, you can take ribbon. This is at the end of a thing. And you can kind of make one loop like that as a tail, and you can kind of stick that in as fillers and stuff too. I don't like this with it, but yeah, I think small ones, just small ones here. I have to do that. But listen, guys, I am going to let you guys go because we've been on for 2 hours. See how long it's taken me because of this thing? This thing, ugh. I go tomorrow to see the orthopedic, and it's been on for 2 weeks. They said 6 to 8 weeks. And what I did, I clean broke the bone in 2 pieces at this joint here. I chipped off here, and they weren't sure if I broke it here. I fell this way. So, just so, I don't think I explained that. And when I fell, my left knee, my right foot got caught in a hole in the grass. And my left knee hit first, so I had a bruise on that, you know, like a skin bruise. When my hands hit, you know, when they slide on gravel, like when you're a kid, that's what it was. And then my chin hit and my lip was black and blue inside, and all in here was black and blue because I smacked. It was like chin up like this, I guess. Didn't hit my nose, but just grazed it. But it was just like, I mean, I face planted it. So, but all good now, except for this. But I will be doing some more lives. I'll show you this because usually what I do when I do something on a live, I'll put it up behind me so you guys can see the finished product. So look for more. If you want alerts, go ahead and write the word alert down below. And Rosie, my little robot, she'll go ahead and message you. And then make sure you answer her question. Because if you don't answer, you're not going to get the alert, okay? And then we'll go from there. And save, share this. Oh, good, Tammy. Yes. Good night, Margarita. Thank you for coming. And y'all have a nice night. Donna, great. I'm glad you put alerts. And I will put in the comments here where I got the ultimate bowl, ultimate mesh roller, as well as the fluff box. I'll put that in again at the bottom of the comments. So if you guys want that. And again, the ribbons and for the turkey. I will take your names. I will contact the lady so she can contact the college student and see if she could still make some, or I'll put you in contact with her. I don't get anything from her, so I'll let her know that, and I'll give you, if it's okay with you guys, to give her your names and let her know. Okay? So you guys have a nice night. Thank you for coming in, sticking out with me for 2 hours, making something that would probably take an hour to make. But I love chatting too. So, all right, ladies. So hopefully next time, well, I'll still have this. Maybe something smaller. All right. Y'all have a nice night. Thanks. Bye.